Most Samsung users spend hundreds and even thousands of dollars on new phones. They spend the next few months using it the exact way it came in the box. Think about it. You buy a brand new Samsung device, update the OS to One UI 8.5, transfer all your applications, sign into your accounts and start using it. But you never actually configured that phone. And that's a mistake, because if I got a new Samsung phone running the latest One UI 8.5 today, these are the 10 settings I would change immediately. Not after 1 week, not after 1 month, but immediately, because these settings will help improve battery life, increase privacy, boost security, reduce distraction, and make your Samsung phone feel easier to use every single day. And the best part is, most of them will take you less than a minute to configure. So whether you bought a Samsung S24 Ultra, S25 Ultra, S26 Ultra, Z Fold, Z Flip, or you just updated to the One UI 8.5, here are 10 settings I would enable right now. So welcome back to the Do It Right Tech channel, where I take you through everything tech, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 10 settings I would change if I got a brand new phone running the One UI 8.5. But without wasting much time, don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button to come back for more, and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any video that I post. On that note, let's go. The very first thing I'll do is to protect my battery. Most people charge their batteries up to 100% every single night and leave them plugged in till the next morning. The problem is that keeping lithium-ion battery at 100% for long increases wear over time. And this is not me saying, that's what Samsung, the makers, actually said. So let me show you what you want to do. You're going to scroll down and go into settings. Then once you're here, scroll and get into battery. While in here, you want to scroll down till you find battery protection. Tap on this and you're going to see two options here. The first option is basic, and this one is for people who sleep with their phones on charge. What it's basically going to do is, once you've toggled it on, it's going to be charging your battery, and once it hits 100%, it's going to stop the charging and wait till it drops to 95. But to make it way better, you're going to turn on this sleep protection, so that while you're asleep, your battery is going to charge to 80%, and by virtue of your alarms that you set on your phone or your sleep pattern, it's only going to charge it to 100% just by the time you wake up and you're setting off for the day. So your battery will be full and your battery will be protected throughout the time. But what if you're a person who charges your phone during the day and want to keep it very juiced up throughout? Then the second one is for you, where you are going to keep your battery to charge to a maximum level. And in this case, you get to select which one you want. So to recap, for individuals who sleep with their phones on charge, you want to turn on basic and turn on sleep time protection. But for others who want to charge their phones during the day, you want to select a percentage you want to be charging it up to and keep it on maximum. As we move forward, I'm going to be helping you build a routine that switches this on your behalf. So let's go on. Imagine losing your phone tomorrow. Could you locate it? Could you ring it? Could you remotely find it? Most people never check this. One of the first things you would want to do when you get that Samsung phone during the setup is to set up Samsung Find. So what you want to do is scroll down and go into settings. Once you're in here, tap on your Samsung account, scroll all the way down until you find Samsung Find. Then you're going to tap on these three dots and then tap on settings. Inside here, the first thing you need to turn on is here, allow device to be found. Come in here, tap on offline finding and toggle this on. With this happening, you are always able to find your device even when it is turned off. It's going to share its last location with you, and nearby Samsung devices near where your phone is would be able to help you locate your phone in the event that it gets lost or stolen. And how would you even locate it? You need to come into the Samsung website and take a critical note of what that web link is, which is samsungfind.samsung.com. So in the event you lose your device, you're able to immediately go to this website, log into your Samsung account, and you should be able to locate your device. And a quicker way to get into that space is to just scroll and search inside here for Find. And you should find the same thing right there. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Let's see the next. Every year, scammers become smarter, malicious applications become more convincing, and people accidentally install softwares from sources they should not trust. Samsung has a feature called Auto Blocker that helps protect you against this. What you want to do is scroll down, go into settings, and scroll down again until you get to security and privacy. Then right in here, you're going to find Auto Blocker. It might be off or it might be on. immediately turn it on. So it blocks unauthorized application installation and adds another layer of security protection against harmful softwares. You should try it. Your phone probably contains banking applications, private documents, passwords, personal photos, yet most people keep everything mixed up together. The secure folder gives you one encrypted area inside your phone. Think of it like a phone within a phone. And there you can keep sensitive applications, files, photos separate for every single thing. Let me show you how to get there. What you're going to first and foremost do is scroll down, go into settings, and scroll all the way down till you get to privacy and security. In here, you're going to scroll down and then go into more security settings. You're going to find the secure folder right there. Tap on it. I do have a dedicated video where I show you how to set it up completely. Once you're done setting it up, you get to be able to log in this way. To find that video, check the top right corner here. I'll have it right there. While you're inside, you're able to manage your notifications, applications, Galaxy AI, manage accounts, and all inside here. And once you're done, the fun part is you get to open it just like an application. So go into your app screen here and then search for your secure folder and jump into it this way. In here, you have a private camera that takes photos and are stored inside your private gallery. You're able to make your own recordings, have your own browser secretly, have your calendar secretly, Gemini access secretly, contacts secretly, notes secretly, and other applications secretly even. Also, you have My Files secretly, you've got your Samsung Pass secretly, even Creative Studio secretly. It doesn't end there because when you hit on plus, you're able to go into the Galaxy Store or Play Store and download applications that secretly can be stored there, or pick applications from inside here, whichever old existing application, and have a version of it in your secret folder. Now this is a very secure space that you can keep all your sensitive information in there. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. This is one of Samsung's most underrated features. Some applications send useful notifications, others send pure spams. Notification categories allows you to control exactly which notification an app is allowed to send. To enable it, this is what you want to do. Scroll down, go into settings, then scroll down again until you come to notifications. And then while you're in here, you're going to come to advanced settings and you're going to find this right here, which is manage notification category for each application. You want to toggle this on, and once this is toggled on, this is what you're going to do. You're going to scroll down and go into applications right there, where you get all your applications. Now for each application that you want to control notifications that come there, you're just going to pick that application like that. And once you're inside the application, you can select notification. And inside here, you can go into notification category like this, look at all those that are there and turn on or off which ones you don't like. So do you want to allow all notifications? Maybe yes. Group notifications, if yes, you leave them. Message notifications, if yes, you can leave them. Chat history backup, if you want this can sometimes be very annoying, so you can toggle it off. Failure notifications, all these notifications, you can select which one of them you want to get. If there's any you don't like, just toggle it off and you're good to go. You're going to be saving yourself a lot of boring notifications. Now you can customize notifications with much greater precision. It's one of the fastest ways to reduce distraction without missing important updates. If you use Samsung Internet, this setting is a must, and it's something I would enable immediately. Open your Samsung Internet browser. You're going to tap on these three dots, go into settings. Then while you're here, scroll down until you get into security and privacy. And ensure that smart anti-tracking has been turned on. Ensure it's turned on at least to standard. That way you're able to ward away trackers from taking your information online. And yes, standard is just fine because it would be blocking all trackers except those that are required for sites to work. This will reduce websites from tracking your activities across the internet. It's a simple privacy improvement that most users never even realize exists. If you're learning something new so far, let me know in the comment section which of these settings you have already enabled. And if you're finding value in this video, don't forget to subscribe because we have lots more Samsung tricks and tips coming your way. Now, let's continue. Nobody likes thinking about emergencies. But this is exactly why I would configure this before I really need it. This is what I'm going to do. So scroll down and go into settings, then scroll down until you get to safety and emergency and select it. First important thing you want to do is go into medical information and put in all those medical informations that are important. Then you can proceed to show it on your lock screen. This is vital. Now, you're going to now go into emergency contacts and keep the names of contacts that can be called on during emergency. You want to toggle on this and toggle this also on. As you can see, it says if emergency location service is supported in your region, your phone will automatically send your emergency information to emergency services that can call or text. This is fine. You have to toggle this on. Then the next thing you're going to do is come into SOS and ensure that here you have filled in the information for your local emergency number. And take note that pressing the side key 5 times would take your phone into emergency. Alright? Once these are set up, you are good to go. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Let's move on. Now, most people copy passwords, emails, phone numbers, bank informations without thinking about it. Samsung now gives you an alert when an application attempts to copy that clipboard information. This is what you're going to do. So you're going to scroll down, tap on settings and scroll all the way until you get to security and privacy. While in here, you're going to scroll down again until you get to controls and alerts and select this option. You're going to find right here, alert when clipboard is accessed. So with this feature turned on, get an alert when an application accesses text, image, or other content you have copied. So this way, these alerts would help you understand exactly what apps are doing behind the scene. It's another small privacy feature that deserves more attention. This is where Samsung starts feeling smarter. As promised in the beginning of the video, I will be creating for you an example of a routine that is going to save your battery. Use modes and routines to create any form of automation that you want. If you want more automations that can be created, check the card up here for a video showing more routines that can be created. Scroll down since settings and go to modes and routines. Once we are in, we're going to go into routines. All right, so we're going to set it up this way and go here into time. And we're going to be given a period, not just a single time. So a period, and it's going to be from, let's say in this example, 11 p.m., which is the time I'm sleeping, 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. Okay. If it's within this time, within the week, every single day, like that, then done. And another condition is if the phone is charging. So charging status. So charging status, if it's wired or wirelessly charging, then here we're going to set the protection, battery protection to basic and sleep protection on and done. Then if it's not that, then the action would be what will be returned to what it is right now, which is maximum. All right. So with this setup, we're going to hit done. And we're going to save this routine to whichever one we want. Security. Done. And with that on, when we go to sleep and we're charging our phone, it's going to be protecting our battery on our behalf. There are others that you want to do. You can do some for night routines. That's at bedtime. You want to turn on power saver mode, enable do not disturb, reduce the light, and then have it turn off when you wake up. Once you start using modes and routines, you realize how much your phone can do automatically. Now the final thing I'll set up is the edge panel. Most people ignore it, but it can become one of the most useful features on your entire phone. This is how you want to do it. So if I swipe to the side, I'm going to have this and several. These are some of the ones that I want to use and how I'm going to configure them. First and foremost, I'm going to download the Good Lock application, tap on it, open it, and make sure that I have installed the home app model, which is this. And then I'm going to scroll down till I get to the edge panel and ensure that it's been turned on. Go inside it. Then here I'm going to toggle this on to get integrated panel. Once this is toggled on, what it's going to do is merge 3 separate panels together that I can put on the side. And then the next thing I'm going to do is come here and select more items in app edge. Once that has been selected, let's see, you're going to have 3 columns instead of 2 columns. That's set. And now I'm going to come here, scroll here, select the edit button, and I'm going to get application, shortcuts, and contacts. So for application, I'm going to put the ones I use a lot. Shortcuts, I'm also going to put, based on the applications I have, the shortcuts that I use a lot. And contacts, I'm going to put the contacts that I like to contact a lot. I can select from contacts and add more to that. Then other edge panels I'm going to be using are the calculator edge panel and the tools edge panel. tools panel where I can tap on these three dots, get a tele counter, a torchlight, a level and a ruler all embedded inside this one. My clipboard, which should allow me to copy stuff and save them in here, even though I have access to them on my Samsung keyboard. And to get most of this, all you need to do is go into the Galaxy store right there, and you should just search Edge panel and search. You're going to get several Edge panels that you can download and fit right there, even the ones that I mentioned. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. And those are the 10 settings I would change if I got a brand new Samsung phone running the latest One UI 8.5. None of these settings require special applications except for the last one, which is the Good Lock one. And if you want to know more about the Good Lock application and the amazing customization and productivity things it can do, check the card up here for the playlist to all my Good Lock videos. And also, none of them cost you money, but together they make your phone safer, smarter, more private, and much more easier to use. If you just bought a new Samsung phone or you updated to the One UI 8.5, start with these settings and you immediately get a much better experience. Let me know in the comments which of these settings you will enable first. And if you're enjoying these videos, kindly don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button to come back for more, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any video that I post. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.